Hi, welcome back to my channel with me Febriana Dewi, and today we'll talk about e-learning class design and development. So the first topic is about online learning. As you can see on the slide, I want to give you illustration about the online learning. This is a student who watched the online video and he can access that video through internet. So it can be concluded that online learning is a learning that chooses internet as a medium. And online learning can be divided into two types, namely synchronous and asynchronous learning. So the first, I want to talk about synchronous learning. Synchronous learning, the concept is live and must be online. So this is the illustration about synchronous learning. The first is the teacher is a make live video and then he upload it to the internet, and the student can watch that video at the same time, but the student can watch that video in a different place. And it's different with asynchronous learning. Asynchronous learning is a more flexible rather than synchronous learning. This is the teacher who paused the video maybe at 7 a.m. in California, and he paused it through the internet, and the student can access that video anytime or anywhere. And it could be synchronous learning is more flexible, and also synchronous learning is autonomous here mean like that students can learning independently. They can access the video or the material by themselves. And collaborative here mean like the student can access and then work together with the other friends, and in the group they can learn something, and that happen positive interdependencies. And next is the basic features of LMS. The basic features of LMS, the first one is announcement. Announcement is the feature where the teacher can share or communicate the important information to the class. Next is syllabus. Syllabus here is contains of overview about the requirement and a course outline. Next is a lesson. Lesson here means the material that will be taught in a one semester. For example, this is the lesson of statistics. It is put in a one folder. And next is resources. Resources here means like the feature is to save the material that student needs to review. And next is discussion forum. For example, I use Schoology here as a discussion board. As you can see, this is the two students can give an answer and a question, and they can share and exchange their ideas or opinions. Next is about assignment upload. Assignment upload here is when the teacher asks student to make a task or assignment, the student can submit the assignment in a submission. For example, I use Schoology. Next is the course email. Course email is a feature that the function is to send a message to the student to remembering the student to make the task. And next is about gradebook. Gradebook here is a feature that function is to check the progress of a student. Next is a good introduction writing. This is example. I use the topic here is a report text. Okay, the thing that we must be considered if we want to make a good introduction writing is the paragraph is to the point, and then the writing style is simple and clear, and then the instruction and the requirement is stated simply, clearly and logically, and be aware of grammatical mistakes. Next is the element of attractive online material. Okay, why if the teacher wants to make online material, the material must be attractive. Okay, the illustration like this. If we want our students to attract, to engage in learning, to make a student active and motivated in learning, the online material must be attractive. So it needs a good visual online, like a layout, text, color, and graphic elements. For example, I want to give you the good visual online. This is, please pay attention. This is the layout is open and have enough white space. Okay, enough white space, and also the text is readable, and the color is have a good contrast with the background, so the student can read it clearly. And also it contains of graphic elements like symbols, icon, and also graphs and chart, and that way that makes the material is attractive. So next is types of online learning. So the types of online learning here is the first one is a class discussion. The relevant tools that we use in the class discussion is discussion forum, for example like this. Okay, next is journal writing. So this journal writing is about to use to write about the student reflection or a teacher reflection about the course or the topic, for example like this. Next is shared knowledge base. Shared knowledge base is a place when the student can used to do collaborative project. For example, in the relevant tools that the student can use is Wiki. From Wiki, the student can put the file or the project in a one folder, as you can see like this. Next is practice exercise. In online learning, we need an exercise like on-site learning. For example, like multiple choice, this is a commonly exercise that we can find. Okay, multiple choice is like the student is given a 4 option that must be answered, and the student can select the best one. And next about matching. Matching here is like student match the column A with the column B. And next is fill in a blank. In a fill in a blank, the student can put or enter the words or phrases that related with the context. And next is drag and drop. In a drag and drop, the student can drag the bad answer and drop the best answer too. Next is project. So in the online learning, they have two kinds of project. The first is group research project, and second is group project presentation. The first is when we talk about group research project, it's about the teacher asks students to make a small research project. Maybe it's about the phenomenon or the hot issues. And about the group project presentation, maybe the student is asks teacher to divide in the small groups or a small group that consists about 4 until 5 students. It's talk or discuss about a one topic, and then they deliver it in the form of presentation. Next is receptive activities. To make students, that is a tools to make a student more active. They can use YouTube, podcast, and Google presentation. That's how to optimize online discussion. Maybe in online discussion is not work well, so the teacher can make some preventive way like this. For example, I just want to give you illustration. So the first is if the student asks or answer the question in the discussion forum, the teacher can give them a reward about that, maybe in a bonus or point, and also the teacher can give them a feedback. So it can make the discussion more attractive, more interest to students in learning process. And that's the learning resource to engage online learners. So the first is text-based supplemental resources. It's mean like a scientific or article that we can find in an international journal like this, for example. Okay, and next is we can find also in a newspaper or magazine. I use Voice of America, or maybe the other like a magazine for Holland magazine or Balinese magazine, and also like that. And next is about audio and video. If you want to engage online learner in the audio, we can use a podcast, for example. Okay, this is the channel of the podcast. It's IELTS Task Prepare Cast. And for video, we can use a Khan Academy, for example. In a Khan Academy, the teacher or the instructor make about the explanation in a screen. And yeah, like our classroom. So next is about image. Image we can make put the photos, graphs or chat. But remember, consider if we want to put this in our online course, it needs to consider about the link format and then portability, and it must be relevant to the context. Okay. And next is example of effective assessment in English teaching and learning. So yeah, uh, I use the aspect of speaking. I have a five aspect that will be assessed. The first one is comprehension. With this descriptor, I have make a five descriptor with a range score 1 until 5, and then the second aspect is about fluency, and next is vocabulary, fourth is pronunciation, and last is grammar. Okay. And next is about basic elements to build an online course. The first one is learning outcomes. Okay, the thing that we must be consider about learning outcome is like the learning outcome are specific, and then the point is clear and has a good assignment. So the next is the online syllabus. Online syllabus is contains of the elements such as a course name, course description, requirement, and then the course outline. Course, yeah. And next is the course outline. Course outline here is means consists of agenda or something to do, and it's about related to the course. And the next is a course outline lesson. Course outline lesson here, we can find that thing that we must consider is first is start with the learning outcomes and then determine the 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 assessment, and the third is using the assessment in the learning process to assess the student. So okay, this is the example of online lesson in a one meeting. Okay, this consists of due date, the clear due date, Thursday, June 8 June, and then this is the clear instruction, and this is clear requirement, and also it's a special note to make a student more understand about this. And also after the student finish do it, the teacher asks them to do discussion below. Okay, that's all about e-learning design and development. So thank you, bye bye.